Hey, Tyler here. Today we're going to work with a scene from the TV show Suits. And I want to begin with the title of the show. I want you to remember that the letter I here is silent. So we pronounce it as suits, not sweets. So let's watch the scene and then we'll break things down. But before we do that, I would like to ask something from you. If you feel like my videos have helped you, please share my videos with one person that you think will like my videos. Thank you so much. Now let's get to work.
I'm confused. Do you actually want to buy our client's company?
Yes. If there's a deal happening, we want to be included in a meaningful way.
Let's begin with this sentence here. The first thing we have to do in order to know what to emphasize is to think which part of the sentence is more important. Is it I'm or is it confused? And to make things easier, imagine you have to deliver the same message using one of the two parts. Would you understand if I came to you and I said, I don't think you would, but would you understand if I said, confused? I know it doesn't sound good, but you get the point, right? So we know that confused is the important word in this sentence, which means that confused is the word we should try to pronounce. So we're going to take I'm and reduce that I sound to a schwa sound, So I'm becomes So it becomes I'm confused. See how confused seems stronger than Now there's one interesting thing about the word confused. When we have regular verbs and we're going to pronounce them in the past, which means we usually add that ed at the end, sounds can change. We actually have 3 different ways to pronounce regular verbs ending in ed. Sometimes we pronounce the end of the word as d, sometimes as t, and sometimes as id. So we pronounce it as t when the word ends in a voiceless sound like K, P, S, F. Now we pronounce it as D if the word ends in a voiced sound like N, L, V, G, M, Z. And the last option is to pronounce it as id. And that happens when the word ends in a T or D sound. Now going back to this word here, which option do you think applies here? 1, 2, or 3? I'm going to give you 3 seconds to answer and then I'm going to tell you. Did you answer it? Do you think you got it? So here we're going to use option 2 because confuse ends in a voice sound, the Z sound. So all we have to do is add a D sound here and we don't pronounce the E sound that comes before D. Now say it out loud just to make sure you got it. About this word here, she says. For this one, we're going to use option number 3 since it ends in a D sound. So we pronounce it as included. Now you try it. Remember to say it out loud. Words can sound very different if we just think about it or if we actually have to say them. Now let's go to the next sentence.
Do you actually want to buy our client's company?
There's one thing I want to mention here, and it's this word here. We have 2 ways to pronounce this word, but we use them in different situations. The first way is our, which is less common. Not wrong, just less common. It's just not as common because we pronounce this word like if we're emphasizing the word. So imagine we buy a car together. You pay half, I pay half. Then one day I say, my car's so cool. Then you look at me and you say, you mean our car, right? Because we're emphasizing this word, you can say it like that. But usually, if I'm just saying something and I don't need to make this word stronger, then I'm going to say are. Just like in the scene, she said, do you actually want to buy our client's company? do you actually want to buy our client's company? That's because there are other words that are more important. So our is pronounced as R. I'm going to stop here because I've already mentioned some rules and exceptions that I've seen people struggling to learn. And next class we'll continue with more so you can improve your English. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next video.
I'm slipping away.